Hello, hello. I am inviting our friend Emma to hop on here. Last night, hey,
Hi.
so last night when we did our new moon energy healing, we got into the topic of becoming like a morning person, and there were a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on why can't I just get up in the morning, or why can't I sleep, or sleep has been, despite the energies going on, a really big topic. So Emma decided, we were texting last night, and she's a friend and has been a client, and I was like, you know what I think would be really helpful, because I was getting a lot of DMs from everyone about the same topic, if we went on and just kind of presented Emma as this beautiful, you look lovely today, study, and I'm going to have her share as much as she wants to share, and we'll just dive in. And we've worked together a little bit, so I know how far she's come, and I might relate some things to her journey, but Emma will get your sleep figured out, and then I know there will be others. I won't be able to respond to every DM and case study, but you'll be able to glean from this experience for sure. Oh, and there's a Hey, about to head in with my first afternoon patient. Happy Friday and new moon. If you're not following Amanda, she's another nurse practitioner that I've recently connected with that I feel super aligned with, and she's all things functional medicine, energy, and just an amazing lady. So, all right, shout out done. Emma, tell us what's going on, girl.
Okay, so I have always had sleep problems since I was a child. That goes back to my fear of the dark, but we have kind of conquered that one. But
You want to pause there for a second?
okay,
I did want to bring this up and say, so we're 50% physical and we're 50% energetic. So if we're only treating the physical, we're going to be missing half the part. Today we're probably going to mostly focus on the physical. Tell us where we've come with the energetic, and as much as you want to say about learning about why it was hard to fall asleep or why it was hard to be in the dark, and what you've gleaned from your healing journey.
so it was hard for me to sleep in the dark. I always would have to cocoon myself in really tightly to make myself feel safe because I felt like I was always being watched. There was always like a presence. You know, when you feel someone next to you, sitting next to you, and you can pick up on their energy, that's exactly what I felt when I was trying to sleep. And you can imagine how uncomfortable that would be, especially as a child, not knowing what was going on. So I just happened to bring that up to you in one of our sessions, and it turned into this beautiful blossoming garden now. And it's actually opened up my abilities to be able to communicate with other spirits on the other side, beings and energies. Yeah, so that's what's inhibited a lot of my sleep over the years.
And you learn to set boundaries with your gift and your abilities to connect. And what I would like to say, and Emma, you have the floor to confirm or deny that some of the anxiety, fears, sleep, paranoia, even ADHD that we started working together for was a lot of your sensitivities and gifts being misunderstood.
Yes, that's exactly what all of this weight that I've been unpacking over the course of the last year to 6 months has been recognizing that all of these things that I thought were wrong with me were actually my gifts. They just were
Yeah.
not being recognized by mainstream, I guess, everyone else, because it didn't follow the narrative. I don't follow the narrative. But there are
And
so many
with,
others that are like me.
yeah. And with, you have to let me know if my internet's in and out. I don't know. Emma, it's either you or I or both of us, but we're moving forward, so I can always disconnect from Wi-Fi. But if a lot of those who struggle with ADHD, ADD, autism, anything on that spectrum, so thinking physical body, we have heavy metals in the brain not allowing, and in the corpus callosum not allowing the hemispheres to fire and signal and talk to one another, nervous system overload. But everyone, right, we can talk about heavy metal toxicity when it comes to closing your crown chakra, but what has to happen in your energy field, point being ADHD, ADD, autism, anything spectrum, anything neurological, anything sensory, you have a wide open energy field. And when you have a wide open energy field and a sensitive nervous system, there's going to be abilities and gifts that come in. So for Emma, you might have been told, been feeling like something was wrong with you your whole life, and lo and behold, you were just not understanding what you were connecting to.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. But now, so you're
Yes.
in with your gifts, you're serving with your gifts, you're understanding food as medicine, you're understanding nutraceuticals and supplements as medicine. Tell us what's been going on with your sleep, and then we'll just dive in and allow others to glean from this experience.
Sure. So my sleep, I have a hard
You too.
time. I have a hard time falling asleep until I had a really profound experience yesterday in a healing session, and that allowed me. I slept like a baby last night for the first time in years, but carrying all the weight of everything really it affects.
Do you want to share that experience?
Yeah, I would love to. I don't know if I'm picking up on your coldness. I am freezing. I just got off another call and I was hot. I just want to grab my blanket. So
It's
what?
I have a sweater on. Pretty cold in my house.
It's cold in my house too. I haven't adjusted the thermostat today yet, but okay, so yesterday I had a healing session with Melissa Sowers. It was a quantum hypnosis healing. And I released someone else's trauma that I had taken on as my own because I'm an empath. I'm a fixer. I want to fix everyone. I had taken on this person's trauma, and I've been carrying it with me for 13 years. And the weight of their perceptions and expectations and fitting me into this box was weighing me down from living in my authenticity, which was affecting my sleep greatly. I woke up this morning at 7 o'clock. You know, I told you last night I normally can't wake up until 8:30. Like, it's always 8:30 and I can't get up. But I'm also usually awake between 2 and 5. My husband gets up for work at 4, so he's up wrestling around. But last night, removing that energy and that trauma that I was carrying really helped. I slept through it. I don't remember him leaving for work. But yeah, normally like my sleep is really disrupted throughout the night. I'm sensing the energies again, which I know that's my own boundaries that I need to put up. When I can feel that energy lingering, and just have to say, not right now, you know, in the morning. But I really want to get to a place where I can go to bed earlier so that I can get up earlier, because I'm having a fantastic day today. Whereas if I would have slept until my normal time, I would have been rushed to wake up because, you know, my kids or my son would be waking up and he would come in and wake me up, and that doesn't give me that time to adjust to myself. Whereas this morning I had the time to reconnect, like meditate before he was even awake. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I just want this every day.
Beautiful. You sent me a message. You're like, I'm up early. So let's play with the variable. Justin doesn't get up for work.
Okay.
Are you still waking up
Yeah.
2, 3, 4? And you said you're usually awake for an hour?
An hour or 2.
Okay. And that time frame that you're describing, Emma, so most of us, when we wake up at 2, 3, 4, this is liver, gallbladder, meridian, when the energy is running through our body at that time. And so there's different things we can do to support the liver nutritionally. Emma, we might dive into this. Tell me how, when you did those cleanse days, like way back, and maybe you still do them. I'm not privy to your personal information anymore. But when you did those cleanse days, when we were working together, one, what happened to your energy senses and your gifts? And then two, what your sleep like on the in the physical plane?
My energy during the day shot through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was literally just like, no, like buzzy, almost like I had
Mm-hmm.
taken my ADHD medication minus the side effects of that, but it was all natural, like it was food. But then my sleep at night was more structured. I was going to sleep better. I was falling asleep easier, falling asleep earlier, sleeping more through the night, and waking up earlier, I believe. I believe I was. It wasn't super early like I would love for it to be. Like I would love to be a 5:36 a.m. riser, but it was still earlier than it is now.
Mm-hmm. And so you said last summer you were getting up at like 6:30, but you said something really important. You said I was living off of coffee. So take me through your day with this. So if you're using coffee for energy, it's going to create an adrenaline response from the adrenal glands to secrete what will then be cortisol. So you feel this rush. But tell me about your day. I don't know this information, but I have a feeling if we go into your day a little bit, felt really good in the morning. What was the rest of your day like?
So I would wake up in the morning before the sun came up, but then I would have my coffee prepped for the next morning. I would live on coffee and water until noon. Eat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would even eat for lunch. Chicken nuggets. I remember telling you I love chicken nuggets. Like they're
What kind? For
what?
everyone. Oh, chicken nuggets. But what if they're gluten free, or what if they're like what kind of chicken nuggets?
They definitely weren't back then. Now I will eat some of the gluten-free ones. However, I
Mm-hmm.
can't eat them during the day because it still gives me that response where I'm up high in the morning until noon, and then I have to go take a nap. 1 o'clock to like 4 o'clock, I'm done. That's how I lived my life every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then my son stopped napping.
Yeah. So I guess for those who are going to be really concerned about the question of chicken nuggets,
Yes.
here's what I think is a great way to if you're gonna indulge in chicken nuggets, to do chicken dipped in some like avocado oil with chickpea breadcrumbs. Chicken nuggets ruled in buffalo sauce.
Yes.
There's some cleaner buffalo sauces out there. So, but most chicken nuggets, even gluten free, are going to come with like vegetable oils, corn, gluten fillers. If they're gluten or dairy free, whatever the packaging is, they're probably egg. They're probably have something else. So if you're highly sensitive, you're healing chronic illness, they may or may not be the best fit for you. But there's a clean chicken nugget out there. You can usually make it yourself. So you're drinking coffee, afternoon naps, and you were waking up at the time you wanted. What was your sleep like on caffeine?
Disrupt. Like having back to sleep. I remember a lot of midnight meditation, breath work to sleep. It was there was a lot of work to get to sleep.
Was I breaking up? Might be my internet.
I think I was on a call before this and it was kind of breaking up, but I'm afraid I've had issues if I disconnect, my phone doesn't like I can try. Okay, hold on, let me try.
Jason, can you still see me, hear me? Am I breaking up? Can you be the quality control so we can make it through this?
Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. You're kind
Okay.
of frozen, but I can hear you.
My internet, let me turn
Cool.
my camera off. Maybe.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, Michelle. I will. Why? Thank you guys. Thank you, Chance. Why Emma's reconnecting. I'll take you through a little bit of the hormone cascade and just easy to understand terms that can happen. If you feel your best and you're sleeping great and you have the energy that you want, Emma does live in a cave. That's what they said. It's funny. I think it's just a bad internet day, whatever. If you drink coffee and you feel the way you want to feel, that's great. If you're not feeling the way you want to feel, if your sleep is off, if you're noticing crashes in the day, if you feel like your hormones are off, even if you don't feel like sleep or energy, but you're like, hormonally, I'm just not feeling well, it's because coffee creates an endogenous cortisol production. So it's going to naturally increase your cortisol. I kicked him off. That's okay. And create that spiral in your body. So with Emma, I'll bring in the take home points, and then if you want to stay for more, you can stay. She will join us. But with sleep, so if you're waking up between the 2 to 4 a.m. hour, your liver, your gallbladder, that's when all that energy is moving through your body and it says, bleh, like I want to vomit this up. Your liver's trying to detox and purge. That creates a cortisol response. When your liver wants to get things out, when your gallbladder wants to get things out, cortisol is produced. That's why you're waking up in the middle of the night. Depending on the toxicity and the burden of the liver, it depends on if there's the more toxic the liver, the more cortisol you're going to kick out. The more cortisol you kick out, the longer you're going to be awake. So what we can do, and it's different for every person. Some people can begin lemon water and celery juice, and they're going to feel great. It's going to clear out their liver, and that's going to be all they need. Some people, like Emma, like me, there's a highly sensitive population, those who just have a lot in their bodies, a lot in their energy fields, and oh, she's back. And so those people are going to need a little bit more, like something I like to call cleanse days. And I'll talk to Emma about these and what she thought about them. So if you're waking up from 2 to 4 a.m., biggest thing to monitor, what's my caffeine intake like? What's my screen time like before bed? And then think about the burden and toxicity of your liver. So Emma, I just took them through a little bit of background physiology in the body. I want to know about your cleanse days. When you did those, you said you had more energy. How was your sleep? And then tell us a little bit about what you were doing, because we talked about some people can just start some lemon water in the morning, start some celery juice. Their liver really starts to flush. They notice their sleep, their hormones, their energy is way better. Some people, usually highly sensitive folk, are noticing that we have to do kind of extensive cleanse days, and they're not always the easiest thing. So tell me about those and your experience. Your internet looks beautiful now.
Thank you. Is it Mercury in retrograde? Because I've been having some serious, I know it's not, but
I don't know.
I've been having serious technological issues like the last week. Okay, so sorry. What I need, I know my energy would get really, really intense. I would have to exercise more, sweat it out more.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. What else were you asking?
What were you doing? Like, what did you find? Take us through. So you went from like chicken and nuggets and coffee to what did you find that sweet spot? Although they might be hard to maintain every day. What are those cleanse days? Like, what do you do in those days? And then how does it affect your sleep?
Okay. So like what I eat and what I did on those days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me think back. I did my lemon water, my celery juice, my smoothie, my juice all day long. I typically
like cold press.
Yes, I typically do that raw till 4 every day, anyways. Because otherwise, I find myself lagging in the energy, needing a nap. It just slows me down a lot. Evening wise though, for my dinners, I would do steamed potatoes, broccoli, sweet potatoes, a lot of grounding foods. Because during the day when I'm doing my juices, I'm like, woo! I am out there, I am ready, I am so energized. I don't think that I'd ever felt so much energy in my life that wasn't
artificial.
Yes, exactly. And this was wonderful because I got to go to sleep at night. I wasn't up late all night. I was able to create more routine in my bedtime routine, reading, journaling, meditating, going to sleep by 10 o'clock, we'll say.
30. You did mention that when you did the infrared sauna at Haven, that Wellness in Overland Park, that your sleep was fantastic.
Yes, I did a session yesterday too.
And you slept well last night, you were saying. So one thing that will happen with the phases, phase 2, phase 3, a liver detoxification of excreting those xenobiotics out of the body. We were talking about toxic, sluggish liver. That's what's waking us up. It produces this cortisol surge in the middle of the night. And the more burden our liver has, the more cortisol it has to excrete to detox, the longer we're going to be awake and the more frequently we're going to wake up. Or if your cortisol was higher during the day from like caffeine or something. So plan of action for you. So with the saunas, magnesium and ashwagandha are great liver detoxifiers. And then coming back to food on a weekly basis, like so you're doing Raw Till 4 most days. Tell me what the difference is of like what you're doing now versus those cleanse days. And then maybe we can find a couple either cleanse days back in your routine or shift a couple things in your diet to help with the sleep.
I find myself allowing more non-cleanse days. I find myself allowing more substitutions to come in as far as like non-dairy cheese, which does not, it still has the soy. It's still, those substitutes have to come from somewhere. So I find myself doing that, or like, I don't want to say giving in. That's not the right word, but allowing myself to eat like more ketchup. I had corn tortilla chips last night. Things like that I know like small amounts are going to build up over time and take me back to that place. So I have to be really, really mindful. And I almost have to recognize that I might not feel so good the next day, like a food hangover.
Yeah. How does it feel with when you're like giving intuitive readings or sessions, when you're like on those cleanse days, how do your gifts vary? How does that energy translate for you in your work?
It comes through so much clearer. I don't have to try as hard. I just become the channel and I connect so much more easily versus if I'm eating some more of those things that I know I shouldn't be, or if I haven't done a cleanse day in a while even, I get very foggy. I have to sit and really try and like I really have to sit and furrow my brow, and it takes a lot more work, it feels like, to connect. It's not as natural.
Yeah. And most clients, when we work together in an extended time like Em and I did, she came to me with physical conditions she wanted cleared through functional medicine. And then through functional energy medicine, she found her gifts. And then like tying that back into the liver. So your liver is one of your main like portals that energy runs through in your body. But say we have, and everyone's different of what their body requires to be well, but those are who are most highly sensitive. This is going to be you. The soy, the corn, the dairy, the gluten, all the things. So too much fat, too much animal protein, not saying none, but saying too much. That's really going to burden your liver. But these, like the corn chips, the soy, these are feeding pathogens that are still living in the liver. And then at night, your body's like, what the heck, dude? And is trying to clear those out, trying to clear out the metals, trying to clear out the excess fat, trying to clear out the hormones that aren't converting. And it makes cortisol to do that in the process. That's why you're awake. That's why you don't feel well. So those cleanse days, the sauna, really helpful tool. As Emma said, like the lemon water, celery juice, smoothies, and cold pressed juices and fruit during the day, veggies, potatoes, really, really light things. You're gonna be like, I want something different. I want a cheese pizza. You're going to be but you will feel the energy and you will find that it's worth it. So if you're struggling with sleep, and if you've been doing every once in a while, like once in a blue moon, I'll get a client who religiously does the food and they've been doing the energy healing. And then so we go to supplementation, and then at the very end of our option list is bioidenticals. And it's very, very small, small population that I'll throw that out to, because like most of us, our hormones are fine, but they're not. The liver is this, everything runs through the liver. It's like your toll. You know, when you're on the highway and everyone has to go through the toll booth, that's your liver. And your hormones are different cars, and they're getting stuck at the toll booth. Your cars are working fine. So if you're not sleeping, we have to look to the liver. Start with food, start with understanding your gifts. If you're feeling a lot of anxiety at night, there's so much there. There's so much to uncover. So, Emma, is there anything you want to add before we hop off and let everyone get back to their busy day?
I don't think so. Thank you for doing this.
No, thank you. So for you, one, do you have any questions like for yourself? Would it make sense for you for maybe, and it depends on where you're at in your menstrual cycle too, that your sleep can, because your liver is going to build up with estrogens, your body's going to build up with more estrogen. That's going to make things feel a little funky. Would you be in a place and feel it would be effective to do a little bit more sauna or sweating outside and then try a couple of those cleanse days and see how it helps?
Absolutely. My body craves it.
I know. I don't, my body loves it. I don't necessarily want to do them all the time either. But I still do. I try to get in a couple a week, and they really help reset. And then as far as I'm sure you know, with like the bedtime routines, like the screen time affecting your melatonin, and if you have lights and artificial light in front of your face, your brain's going to take several more hours to wind down, if at all. And then if you're, biggest thing, if you're not remembering your dreams, or you feel like you never remember dreams, or dreams are very foggy, let's look at your thyroid. So not applying to you, Emma, but for anyone listening.
Oh yeah, I've got all the dreams.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, girl. I will
Okay.
post on YouTube, and feel free to share with anyone that you feel like will need this.
Yes, thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.